Your DNA remembers a civilization that no longer exists. Before pyramids rose, before kingdoms carved their names into stone, before languages took form in human mouths, there existed a civilization whose story has all but vanished. No monuments, no chronicles, no surviving tongue, nothing except a trace. That trace lives inside you. Deep within the spiraling script of your DNA, in the quiet helix that turns like an ancient galaxy, lies a whisper, a signature left behind by a people who walked the earth tens of thousands of years ago, a people whose world ended, yet whose genetic breath still lingers in millions alive today. It is a ghost lineage, a forgotten branch, a civilization erased from time, but not from biology. They left no ruins, yet they left descendants. They left no artifacts, yet they left memories encrypted in the genome. Your cells carry a story that history never wrote. Because long before nations, long before borders, long before the civilizations we celebrate in textbooks, there were others, and one of them lives in you. So if our histories begin with writing, and our myths begin with stories, where does your story begin? What if the earliest chapter of your identity belongs to a people who no longer exist? Today, we follow that hidden thread into the lost civilization your DNA refuses to forget. Human history, as we are taught, begins with agriculture, cities, kings, and records. But genetics tells a different tale, a deeper, older, wider narrative stretching beyond anything ever written. Across Africa, the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and the Americas, scientists began noticing something astonishing: fragments of ancestry that did not match any known population. An imprint from a group that did not appear in archaeological evidence, a lineage that was neither Neanderthal nor Denisovan, nor any modern community. It was as if buried beneath the known layers of humanity's past, there existed an entire civilization missing from the historical map. Who were they? Where did they live? Why did they disappear? And how do millions of people carry their genetic legacy today? This documentary focuses on that hidden ancestry, the ghost populations identified only through DNA. Peoples who shaped early migrations, peoples who blended with the ancestors of Africans, Middle Easterners, South Asians, Oceanians, and indigenous Americans. Peoples who vanished not through conquest or catastrophe, but through merging, absorbed into the rising branches of humanity. They had culture, they had language, they had identity. And though their world is gone, echoing only in the genome, their story remains, waiting to be reconstructed through the silent memory of our cells. To trace a lost civilization, we must go to the beginning, long before agriculture, long before cities. The world 60,000 to 300,000 years ago was a shifting tapestry of human lineages: Homo sapiens, archaic humans, regional groups that split, traveled, met again, diverged again. Most of these groups were small, mobile, and deeply connected to landscapes that no longer exist: grasslands swallowed by deserts, forests erased by ice, coasts drowned by rising seas. Geneticists found that beneath all modern human ancestry, there is a basal layer from a population older than Homo sapiens migrations out of Africa. This group, sometimes called basal Eurasians, sometimes ancient North Eurasians, sometimes archaic sub-Saharan ghosts, appears in the DNA of millions today. They were not a tribe. They were not a simple band.
They were a civilization of their time, a network of early humans sharing tools, ideas, and genes across vast territories. Some lived in the ancient Sahara when it was green, a landscape of lakes, rivers, hippos, and grasslands. Others lived in the Arabian Peninsula before it became desert. Others settled in parts of India, the Levant, and the Caucasus region before the last ice age reshaped everything. They were the first explorers, the first navigators of ancient ecological corridors, the first to carve out territories in worlds long forgotten. Their genetic footprint suggests a people who survived climate upheavals, expanded into new regions, and eventually mixed with incoming Homo sapiens groups. Their civilization may not have had walls or temples, but it had continuity, and continuity leaves a mark, and that mark survives in us. As waves of migrations unfolded, this lost civilization met others, and the collisions reshaped the genetic landscape. 40,000 to 60,000 years ago, the first major interbreeding events occurred with early Homo sapiens spreading across Eurasia. Genomes from ancient skeletons found in Siberia, the Levant, and South Asia revealed inexplicable segments, pieces that did not match any known human group. This indicated a now vanished people who contributed substantial ancestry to early Middle Eastern farmers, Caucasus hunter-gatherers, ancient Iranians, first Anatolian agriculturalists, ancient Indian populations, East African groups, indigenous Americans through their Siberian ancestors. Their influence was massive, yet invisible until modern genetic sequencing uncovered it. Their world intersected with rising cultures, the first symbolic tool makers, hunter-gatherer networks that spanned thousands of kilometers, proto-linguistic groups that may have seeded early language families, climatic catastrophes that forced them to migrate or merge. War is rarely recorded in this time. Instead, the story is one of blending, absorbing, thriving, disappearing into new populations. Their genes travel in straight lines, their culture traveled in memories, but memories fade. DNA does not. What traces remain of this lost civilization? Geneticists have identified several distinctive markers, segments deeply diverged from all other modern humans, haplogroup branches with extremely old coalescence dates, alleles linked to immunity and disease resistance, variants influencing skin pigmentation and adaptation to specific climates. In some populations, up to 20 to 30% of the genome reflects ancestry from this ghost civilization. In others, small but meaningful fragments, 2%, 5%, 8%, remain like dust on ancient stone. These traits shaped how future populations adapted: height variation in Europe, immune responses in the Middle East, metabolism traits in South Asia, heat tolerance in Africa, cold adaptation in northern populations. Every one of these traits is a thread in the tapestry of identity, threads woven by a people who no longer walk the earth. What does it mean to carry ancestry from a civilization that no longer exists? It means that identity is older than memory. Your traditions come from parents, from grandparents, from communities, but your biology comes from civilizations older than any name, older than any empire. DNA is not culture, but it holds culture's fingerprints, the struggles, movements, and interconnections that shaped every human story. The past lives on not as a myth, not as a story, but as code. Every breath you take carries echoes of migrations you never saw. Every heartbeat syncs with rhythms set by ancestors you never knew. Every cell holds the blueprint of a world you never imagined. This is the greatest truth genetics gives us. We inherit more than appearance. We inherit survival. We inherit resilience. We inherit worlds lost to time. A civilization disappears only when no one remembers it. But this one, though nameless, voiceless, erased, is remembered by your DNA. Their legacy beats inside millions today. Their story didn't end, it transformed. It became us. So as we trace these forgotten lineages, we are not merely reconstructing history, we are rediscovering ourselves. Which part of this hidden journey surprised you the most? Which ghost lineage do you want explored next? If this story moved you, like, comment, and subscribe, because humanity's oldest chapters are just beginning to be uncovered.